It's August, which means there will be football played this month.
Yes, there will be.
And listen, I love what the USFL's got going on, right? And all that other stuff. Real cool. We can all just be friends about it. But we got legitimately 100% the real thing going on.
Real thing.
And this is I'm so excited. I do want to tell you how my month got kicked off. I wake up this morning even earlier than when I wake up, which is like, I'm talking military time. Like, I got to make sure the nukes work, like that type thing. I get up like 4:15, get in my routine, walk downstairs like 5 o'clock, and there's headlights shining through my front door.
Not a good start. Not a good start.
So I'm like, I really don't want to have to kick somebody's ass at 5:05 in the morning.
That was Kirby Smart coming to get you for the team bus for camp.
Yeah. Well, listen, Kirby, first off, if you don't show up past 6:30, we got the show to do. All right? It takes precedence. He knows that. But anyway, so I'm like, all right, it's just somebody, because my neighbor leaves about the same time I do in the morning. Maybe they're just pulling out. They forgot something, stopped the car and ran back in. So I walk in my garage, I open my garage, it's opening, and then I see feet, like outside. So I'm
no.
Man, I work for the Daily Wire, man, I don't know what's going on. So I'm just, all right, here we go. I guess I'm going to really have to fight my way out of my garage in the morning to get here to talk about, college football expansion. So it's my neighbor who's a woman. So instantly I'm like, I put my hands down. Like, I don't have to be that ready.
That's disrespectful.
If it does go down. Well, sorry about it.
Probably tee you up.
Yeah. Equality.
Yeah.
Literally at 5:05 in the morning, it's waiting for me outside of my garage. Okay, if this was medieval times, maybe like 150 years ago, you're catching a crossbow, at least to the leg. All right?
Did you just get back from Europe?
Yeah, well, maybe. So apparently, my beautiful wife, Reed, had cut the grass too far over because she loves to cut the grass. Like, she just loves to do it. And we got this.
How far over?
Like 6 inches.
Come on, man.
Like 6 inches. And so she's stopping me and like, hey, and she wasn't like super disrespectful, but she also wasn't super nice about it. It was kind of somewhere in the middle.
You can't be nice enough at 5 in the morning.
Like, but like, this is something you can't tell me. Like, you have to instantly tell me now. Like, you can't wait. So to me, I think you're the one with the problem.
Yeah.
Right? And listen, I was like, listen, we'll fix it. Won't happen again. Sorry about it. But God, 5 in the morning?
Look, man, as someone who, for a profession, tells people to get off their lawn, you got to raise your standards, woman.
You do?
You got to raise your standards.
Come on.
And at 5 in the morning?
Yeah. I literally,
your health is in danger.
Yeah, see, that happens to me. I turn into a subtle terrorist, right?
How subtle?
Pretty subtle. So things you don't even
You just
know.
start doing little things around.
It's like, why is like half my cabinets open?
You're talking about a being.
This is the you did watch the Watcher.
Why is my car beeping? Why does it smell like smoking?
Did you see The Watcher on Netflix? We talked about this when you were
The Witcher.
No, The Watcher. If
I
you
know
had seen
that
The Watcher
story.
before this situation happened, your neighbor might not be alive now. Because you would have just gone full.
Now I want to watch it. Oregon coach Dan Lanning takes a shot at Colorado. Will the Ducks be the next to leave the Pac-12? Aaron Rodgers has strong words for new Broncos head coach Sean Payton. And we're going to break down our top 5 quarterback battles heading into fall camp. Because it's time. I'm Jake Crain, and welcome to Crain & Company. There's an old saying, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do it. And after Dan Lanning threw some very massive and also very true shade at Colorado for leaving the Pac-12, you have to ask yourself, how does this help him or Oregon? Now, I want to play the clip. Here's what he said.
Not a big reaction. I'm trying to remember what they won to affect this conference. I don't remember. Do you remember them winning anything? I don't remember them winning anything.
Now, what he said is exactly right, but what does this accomplish other than piss Colorado off even more when you have to play them in a game that you should win by a lot this year? Now, in the end, it probably doesn't matter, isn't going to affect the outcome that much, but when you tell your players not to give bulletin board material to other teams, and then you do this, it makes it much harder for that message to get through. You lose a little bit of credibility. Now, I get that he's defending the conference that he coaches in and his team plays in. But giving a team that runs off emotion like Prime's teams typically do another motivating factor to play better than they are, it isn't a smart move. Speaking of smart, say what you want about Kirby, but you won't catch him saying things like this at press conferences, even now when he is running the sport. Now, to quote the poet Lil Wayne, real G's move in silence like lasagna. And all these words can do is come back to bite you in the ass. Now, Lanning is a hell of a coach with a bright future, just signed an extension, and Oregon's going to be really good this year and beyond. But he may want to take a page out of his mentor's playbook and leave the trash talk for the pregame speech. I'm going to bring in my co-host, former Michigan quarterback David Cohn, former Western Colorado wide receiver Blaine Crain. David, I'll start with you today. I love being confident. I like to have a good time. Hell, I'll show up to the party early just so I can have extra time to have fun.
Okay.
But when you're talking to your players and your messaging is, and I know this is what the messaging is from Lanning to his guys, it's not about the opponent. It's about us, right? It's about us getting better each and every week. It doesn't matter the name on the other jersey. We'll handle the schematics when it comes to changing game plans. And then you go out and reach to do this. Two questions. One, how does this help you, which is what the question I think everybody should ask themselves whenever they think about saying something that they're maybe not sure they should say. And then number two, how much credibility do you lose in that locker room when you don't practice what you preach?
Well, how does it help me? It helps me. It reminds me we have college football this month, so that's super exciting. How does it help Dan Lanning? Not that much, even though I don't think it'll have any effect in the locker room.
No, they're going to kill him.
I don't think so. One, he's not wrong. And two, he's not saying anything that Deion Sanders didn't say about the program, to be honest. Deion Sanders came in and said, Colorado has wildly underperformed. That's why I'm here, because it's unacceptable to our fans and to you and to your parents, when he was talking to the players. But he was talking to a school he was now affiliated with. Dan Lanning's talking about an opponent. So he's not wrong. I'm sure there is a little bit of bitterness. The school has decided to leave the conference. But a few things here. One, at least he had the guts to say it about a team he plays this year. Because we get Oregon, Colorado, week 4, Saturday, September 23rd. You might not have penciled that on your calendar before. Now you're going to. And we haven't even heard Deion Sanders' response to this, which is going to be, let's see what's going to happen with that. And then the second half of it is, might get a little bit awkward if Oregon now leaves the conference, which we're hearing reports, and we're going to talk to Tom Luginbill, that Oregon might be the next one to head out, except they might leave for the Big Ten instead of the Big 12.
Yeah, not only Oregon, Arizona has a
Washington
meeting. I told Blaine that, and he said, that's my bank. Regions.
Yeah, I need to lock it in.
They're talking about you.
Yeah, which means they're gone. You have that board region. That means you're gone, which means, is Arizona State gone now? Is Utah gone now? We're going to talk, like you said, we have Tom Luginbill coming on to discuss everything. Blaine,
what?
If you're Deion Sanders, how would you respond to this if you're Deion?
There's not much you can do. I'm like, you're right.
Really?
You're not. Yeah, I mean, how can you respond in a way? So, no, we're really good. We've done a lot. All right.
I'm not saying that. Like, why do you not? I mean, do you not look at him and say, hey, watch your mouth? Shut your mouth when you're talking about me.
But yeah, you can say that, but then you got to play them, right? And then your players have to back up what you said. And next thing you know, you're down 34 going into the fourth. So it's kind of tough. But if it's Dan, lock it in, bud. What are we doing here? Why are we talking about this? What are we worried about?
Y'all better worry about Texas Tech.
Yeah, I'm worried about blowing a 34-17 lead in the fourth quarter against Oregon State. That's what I'm worried about.
Still mad about that.
Yeah, I'm still mad about it. It's to go to the Pac-12 championship. You win that game. Well, we blew it. But no, I'm going to come out here, not worried about recruiting, making our team better, make sure we're prepared every Saturday. I'm going to go talk about how bad Colorado is.
Go make fun of the fat kid with the glasses.
So look, it's like you're pointing out obvious things that we don't even know. You're right, but who cares? The sky's blue. You don't have to point out obvious stuff. Go say that about Utah, right? Yeah. Go say that about someone you're worried about. Why are we picking on the kid that has a weird walk? Who gimps through the hallways? We love him, all right? He's new. We know that. We'll see what he's about. It's going to take some time. But can we have him trend up a little bit for a second, Dan, and worry about ourselves? But what did Kirby say? I'm sure you can pull up you go to the internet right now and just pull up Kirby Smart sayings. He would say something that would fix this entire problem. Learn Learn from, hey, Dan, why don't you convince your team you're going 7-5 this year?
Yeah.
How about that? That's what the real ones do. Kirby convinced a locker room full of 5 stars that they're going to lose 5 games. You know how hard that is? Kirby could lead a nation. Like, and same thing, Nick. Well, like right now, if it was Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, who you voting for?
Oh, I'm
run the country.
I'm voting for Saban.
You're voting Saban. Who's second?
Kirby. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
No, look, I don't.
This is strange from Dan.
I don't think you're wrong. We want to let in the Booster Club right now. Let us know. Do you think because Blaine, I do want to say this. If you're prime though, and you don't say anything, like, aren't you kind of you're letting somebody
silence shows
you're
strength.
gonna walk in my house and make fun of the wallpaper?
I don't know.
Like when I'm cooking you dinner.
What about the guys who can say whatever, but it doesn't?
But that's where it gets weird though, because this isn't a shot at Deion Sanders.
Yes, it is now though.
But he just got there, and that's my point is that he's the one who clowned Colorado when he came in.
But still, like, I can make fun of my brother.
I can
make fun of my brother. Somebody else makes fun of my brother. We got a problem.
But how do you say it in a way that, like, says that Dan Lanning is not wrong? But
here's what I say. Here's what I say. If I'm Deion Sanders, you ready? All right, remember that camera's rolling. All right. Look, Dan. Listen. Number one, got a ton of respect for what you guys are doing over there in Oregon. But don't ever talk about me or my guys again. Okay, don't you worry about yourself. All right, we're building over here. We're focused on us. Maybe you should be focused on you.
Okay,
and then throwing a subtle shot.
But that's the guy who came in and said, "I'm bringing my own Louis luggage. You guys should hit the portal." He's talking about his own guys.
You can never let him know your next move.
Yeah, okay.
You can never let him know your next move.
Also, is lasagna silent?
The G in it is.
Okay.
I've never heard it called lasagna. Okay. Unless it,
yeah, see, here's a real quick. First thing, I typed in Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart saying, the first thing I pulled up. What I'm worried about is our team and our players developing and getting better. That's the most important thing.
There it is. Good. Woo! There it is. Guess what?
Say it again.
Next day.
Say it again.
What I'm worried about is our team and our players developing and getting better. That's the most important thing to me right now.
Yeah.
So what if Deion Sanders responded with that?
Great response.
Great response.
I'm fine with it.
Me too.
I'm fine with it. And if you have a great product and you need a great company to help sell it, you need our friends over at Shopify. David, hit that button that makes that noise.
Hold on. Do you really want a Shopify button? Because I have one.
Hit it. Guess what? Surprise. You're rich forever. The all-in-one commerce platform for starting, running, and growing your business. They make it easy to sell to anyone, anywhere. And look, I get asked all the time. It's a lot of guys that are starting podcasts or trying to get in, trying to sell merch and get into it. And there's so much going on, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you're starting it by yourself. And then even when it's growing, even when you have other people trying to organize everything, right? That's why we're very fortunate to work at the place we work for, because we have people that can help us out. Because again, we're not exactly Steve Jobs when it comes to being technical savants. Now, you more than me and Blaine, but Shopify makes it unbelievably easy and takes a big worry off your plate. You can customize your online store to your brand. You get new customers, build relationships that create diehard fans. They have 24/7 support, free on-demand business courses. And look, they're really here to help you out. I mean, Shopify, it's the move.
Another angle, musicians. Musicians who are trying to set up their merch shops and things like that. I wish I had known about Shopify when I was playing music back in the day. But hey, one more time here for the sound. You got rich.
Then check that bank account. And again, it's peace of mind too. So sign up for $1 per month for a $1 per month trial at shopify.com/Crain. That's /Crain, CRAIN, helps you out, helps us out, all lowercase. That's Shopify, SHOPIFY.com/Crain to start selling online today. Shopify.com/Crain. Let's get to the Booster Club.
Hold on. Before we do that, Director Trey said he wants to say something. Oregon hasn't won a natty, and even though it was in the 90s, Colorado still has one. Uh-oh.
I mean, this is what you create.
Yep.
See, now you have people flipping back through, they went into their school library and got that old Harry Potter ass size book and put it down, and they're flipping through it with the dust, and there's like spells and when they won a national championship. Now people are going back and looking. See this again.
Never-ending story.
Need this. You know what I'm trying to do? Hey, let's make sure the starting left tackle doesn't get hurt during fall camp. That's what I'm worried about right now. Not Colorado. Again, why are you going out at recess and picking on the kid, the kid who's losing his hair at 12?
Why are
We
you?
just have a day full of Kirby Smart quotes.
We should. You got another one?
I can find one.
Yeah, find another one. Here's what you say. Like, Dan, let us help you out. All right, let's get to the booth.
Jimbo Eagle, $20 donation.
Jimbo, what's
Appreciate
up?
it, Jimbo. Says, used to listen to Till I Collapse by Eminem and 50 Cent pregame to protect QBs like David Cohn at the college level.
Love it.
I feel like the same energy every time Jake gives an opening monologue and Blaine sheds his haters on It's Mid.
No, look, it's a great thing. You're in the trust tree. By the way, like, subscribe. If you haven't subbed yet, we're almost to 100,000. I'm trying to get there. That's a lot. It's a football stadium.
It's a plaque.
That's the big house.
That's a plaque.
That's a plaque.
It's a plaque.
I wasn't going to tell you guys this. I have something special in the freezer from when we hit 100,000 subs. Got it from the farmers
just don't
market
know.
this past
Okay.
week.
Okay,
The first part felt weird.
Yeah.
It
I don't
felt
need you
weird.
to set it up that
you
way.
smile behind it too.
Yeah.
You know.
I watched that Jeffrey
This isn't
Dahmer
my
thing on
smile.
Netflix again a couple weeks ago.
Stop.
I just don't like when you start things
Stop.
with I have a surprise.
Quit rewatching
Okay,
Jeffrey
well,
Dahmer.
All right, well, I'm over here talking about tomahawk steaks, and you're over here talking about
You have a
Jeffrey
tomahawk
Dahmer.
steak?
Look,
Why did you just tell us?
Wagyu.
Wagyu.
So let's get those numbers up.
Wagyu.
All right?
God, I love German meats.
Let's go.
on.
Nino, let's go. Nino Brown _
Nino.
T2
El Nino.
T. Says Colorado wins the offseason. Oregon wins the real game.
There we go.
Burn, brother.
There we go.
Look,
Burn
Nino,
it up.
Look, Nino
It
knows
started.
what's up. Shout out to Toilets to Titles as well. I always love going on there and chopping up my guys.
Mouth, dude. Let's go to Joseph Lavelle, $5 donation. Joseph, thank you. Time for Blaine to read.
Yes.
Bruh, it's time for Blaine to read hockey names.
Do it.
Branko Radovachef.
That sounded like the girl's name off volleyball.
He's
What's
really
her name?
good.
Edna Razanina.
There's like 8 of them. Branko Radovachef.
The most dangerous woman on
That
the
was a
planet.
change
with a
up.
duck.
Justin By Fuglin, Connor Hellebuck, Ryan DeZingle, Philip Honrak, and Igor Sharanagovich.
I can do that all day. I can listen to you.
Cole Frink, what's up, Cole? $2 donation. LeBron is mid, MJ's a GOAT, and Blaine chose violence.
Yeah, apparently that school LeBron has, like, nobody can read.
I promise.
Hey, they're teaching them.
It's like, I promise you won't be able to do math.
LeBron's teaching them how to read. You read the title, and tell everybody you read the book.
But it's upside down.
Yeah, it's literally. Let's go to Ryan Gade, $5 donation. Appreciate it, brother. Country Roads Trust just announced it's partnering up with Big Timber Brewing to make a beer. If any school deserves to have an NIL beer, it's WV.
Oh, that's exactly
One beer.
Like how, like, there's not like some sort of couch burning NIL deal that goes with West Virginia. Something's got to happen. I don't know if it's gonna be like, what is that? Like not rent a room. What's it called? Oh, golly, we even
Rent a room.
rooms to go.
Rooms to go.
Rooms to go. That's a hotels right there.
Fart in the bathtub. Laugh your ass off. Let's go to Jeff Druin. Dan took the words from Dion like Oregon State took a trip to the conference tournament from Oregon.
Here we go. And it's starting.
Conference championship?
A trip.
It's
You
starting.
said conference tournament.
Well, he put tournament in.
Okay, I know that Jeff.
I read whatever you put in the prompter.
Look, and that's
okay?
Jeff with the G.
That's what I do.
Okay, that's true. All right,
Let's go to Mike RFF. If you don't know, it's a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle.
Hashtag Ask Crain & Co. That's us. Who is this year's TCU? And also, which team that is projected to do well is likely to crumble?
What is it? What picture just got put up on the screen? What was that?
I don't know.
That.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Anyways,
Who's this year's TCU?
here's
Here's
where I'm at on it.
Say it.
There's not going to be a TCU every year, right? There's not a team that. When's the last time there was a TCU in college football?
It's been a long time, and it was quite refreshing until we got to the college football playoff, and I don't want to relive that. But let me throw one out there. We're talking about a team here who first-year head coach, that's what Sonny Dykes was, right? First-year head coach who surprises everyone, loses in their conference championship, but still maybe goes to the college football
Can
playoff.
I say who I'm guessing you're going to say?
Say it.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Think about if they were to run the table.
Michigan or
Luke
Ohio State,
Fickell,
right?
first year. You bring in Tanner Mordecai from SMU. They play one of them. I think they play one of them. But let's say you were running the table, but losing the conference championship, like TCU did to Kansas State, somehow maybe still.
Ohio State at home.
Like it's not likely. It's not likely, but it's an answer to his question.
Here's the question. Let me throw this one out at you real quick before we move on. That's a great question. What if Wisconsin loses to Ohio State at home, wins the Big Ten West, okay? Michigan goes undefeated, beats Ohio State.
And loses to Wisconsin?
Ooh,
you got a bad scenario. You got a bloodbath.
Well then, it's to flip it on.
You have to take the
champion. Let's say Wisconsin beats Ohio State, runs the table. Michigan runs the table. Michigan beats Wisconsin in the conference championship. Ohio State has one loss.
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin has one loss.
Yep.
But Wisconsin's got to go.
Yeah.
It's TCU, right? That's like TCU.
Yeah.
That's so. Look, I'll tell you another one to watch out for, and I think this is it's very, very unlikely, but I don't think it's nuts. Oregon State, man. I know the Pac-12 is probably going to cannibalize itself.
DJU?
That offensive line, man.
DJU.
Like Oregon State has maybe a top 3 offensive line in college football. But people aren't talking about this enough. I think they're going to be a little bit better defensively than they were. Not that it's going to be. Can we pull up Oregon State's schedule just real quick?
I would love to.
Can we just pull it up?
Love to.
Because if DJU, let's just play a game. All right, let me ride the tricycle with that mask on with the red circles. Let's play a game.
All right.
I saw that one.
Yeah. Week 1, you're at San Jose State.
It's a dub.
Week 2, you're killing whoever that is. Week 3, San Diego State at home.
You're winning that one, I think.
You go to Washington State.
Winnable.
Utah at home.
Winnable.
At Cal.
Winnable.
UCLA at home.
Winnable.
At Arizona.
Winnable.
At Colorado.
Winnable.
Stanford at home.
Winnable.
Washington at home.
Winnable.
At Oregon.
Washington, Oregon, back-to-back.
Yeah.
But you
said Washington.
Home.
You said when
Washington at home. At Oregon after that.
You got to beat Utah.
You have to.
You got to beat Utah.
Get them at home, too. And then UCLA is at home as well?
Yeah.
UCLA's at home.
We're going to talk about UCLA in a bit.
Yeah,
so.
I'm saying, like, DJU's a quarterback, so their offensive line can be
So my point is this. There's probably not going to be a TCU, okay? But it's fun to play that game now that we've seen it happen, right? Wasn't just an SEC team versus an SEC team, which, by the way, I think the SEC's won 4 in a row, which ties the most conferences won in the AP poll era. No AP poll team's ever won 3 in a row, by the way. That's what Georgia's going for. Team that got the closest, Alabama, until the kick 6.
So who did it back in the day? Was it Minnesota?
Something like that.
Minnesota, that must have been pre-AP.
Yeah, something like that. All right, let's get to the NFL quick hitch.
All right, NFL quick hitch. Let's start with this drama between Sean Payton and Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers.
Tell people what it is?
So Nathaniel Hackett was the head coach of the Broncos last year, was fired before the season even ended. Sean Payton, new Broncos head coach, he comes in, he basically says of Hackett's performance last year with the Broncos, it might have been one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL. Russell Wilson had 50 different dirty hands surrounding him, something like that, messing with his performance. Well, Aaron Rodgers, Hackett was Aaron Rodgers' OC with the Packers. And a big reason why he came to the Jets, because Nathaniel Hackett's the OC for the New York Jets now. Aaron Rodgers comes out immediately and says Sean Payton was inappropriate for putting down another coach at this level, and that Payton must feel insecure to tear down another coach in this league. Sean Payton got asked about Aaron Rodgers' comments and asked if he would like to give a comment. He said, "No, we're past it." I don't know if that means they made up.
When did Sean Payton say this about Hackett?
He said it on a podcast.
This was recent.
This weekend, I believe.
Okay, so again, I'm going to go back to what I said at the top about Dan Lanning. Why? It's true. It's like you said what Jim Irsay was saying the other day. It's true, but why would you say it?
I agree with that.
Like, how does it help you? Every coach should ask themselves, before they feel like they're going to respond to something that could cause controversy, how does this help me and my team, right? How does this, you should do it in normal everyday life as well. How does this help? Again, he's right. Nathaniel, he did a bad job. There's a reason he's now the offensive coordinator at the Jets. And you know what? He's back in his bag. Some guys, just like in college football, Will Muschamp, I can go down the list, Jeremy Pruitt, some guys are just better coordinators than they are head coaches because they're 2 totally different jobs. Totally different jobs. Nathaniel couldn't hack it in Denver, okay? But that doesn't mean that he's not going to be a great OC. But again, why are we causing this problem? Well, I don't want to piss Aaron Rodgers off. I don't. Does he look like he's wearing a Halloween costume in his latest picture?
He does.
Yes, he does. Does it look like it's somebody who looks like Aaron Rodgers dressing up as Aaron Rodgers? Yes, it does. Guess what? It's still Aaron Rodgers. This guy's going on retreats in the darkness. and saying nothing like Batman.
I'll say the same thing about Oregon and Colorado, though. This is a matchup we get. Week 5, October 8th.
At Denver.
Jets go to Denver.
It's a hell of a time to say something about anybody on the Jets. It just wouldn't be me at this point. Because right now, roster-wise, they're a top 5 team in the league.
I'm telling you, I think the Jets, and I've said this early, and again, I wait until the end of camp, just like in the NFL, in college, I think the Jets legitimately could go to the Super Bowl. And I can't believe those words are coming together in that series out of my mouth.
Well, talking about that, Broncos have their own issues at wide receiver now. You got Tim Patrick suffers a torn left Achilles. He's going to miss. He's going to miss the entire season.
Yeah, you're done.
This is after he missed all of 2022 with a torn right ACL, and then KJ Homer will miss significant time with a heart condition.
Man, that sucks. Like it just
seems like this. I know this
seems like a bunch of
injury
news
just
broke.
Denver, just receivers, man. Just like
yeah,
can't stay healthy. Same thing with Tim. I mean, Courtland Sutherland got banged up, didn't he? I mean, the Jerry Jeudy tear his ACL the year before that. So, and it's not like they're offensive. Like offensively, they have talent. Like they're young up front, they're good. I'm sure they're obviously going to be better under coach.
I love Javonte Williams, who was hurt.
Javonte Williams, who got hurt. So like. It sucks because like they're so talented. We just got to see them get on the field.
All right, let's go to the Colts. Running back Zach Moss broke his arm. Is going to miss time, and this comes with there's all sorts of drama with Jonathan Taylor right now. And I believe I saw a stat that said that now means the only player on the Colts roster with over 100 rush attempts is Gardner Minshew.
Gardner, love it, man.
The guy, I'm a big Gardner Minshew guy.
I am too.
He isn't lining up and running back and helping anybody. He can barely do it at quarterback. It's just, again, Zach Moss, a guy that's a big threat to catch the ball out of the backfield, too. Like, this is a guy that was going to spell Jonathan Taylor, a guy that has a little bit of a different skill set. We know the situation with Jonathan Taylor, which I think it's going to get resolved. He's going to be playing. It's people say coincidence. People say, oh, it's ironic. Jim Irsay comes out and says this about running backs. Jonathan Taylor gets pissed. Jim Irsay says something about him and Jonathan Taylor. Like, if I'm dead and he's out of the league, or he's dead and I'm out of the league, nobody's going to care. And then all of a sudden your backup running back breaks his arm, which means he's done. The Colts, you don't want to be limping into the season physically and especially mentally. And I feel like the Colts are doing both right now.
Next one up, Cowboys running back Ronald Jones suspended for 2 games for PEDs. He signed a 1-year contract with the Cowboys in March. Remember, they didn't extend Ezekiel Elliott, so they have Tony Pollard. Ronald Jones was a part of that Leonard Fournette backfield with the Bucs when they won the Super Bowl.
Again, you hate losing depth, especially over something you feel like can get controlled. Did they say what type of PED was it? I mean, was he rubbing cream on his ankles or like what?
Yeah, like ringworm cream from Hungary.
He had ringworm?
Yeah.
That ringworm cream you get from Honduras?
Why did Hop get suspended half a season and Boys get suspended for 2 games?
No, that's what I need to know. Like, what PED is like? Did you buy the wrong thing?
Show me on the pie chart like what the deal is.
On the pie chart?
That's a great point.
Last one here for NFL running backs, Alvin Kamara. The league office has not indicated to the team whether Kamara will be suspended for his involvement in that fight outside of Las Vegas in 2022, but Kamara plans to tell Commissioner Goodell his side of the story.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but I saw the video. The video did not look good. He was facing felony charges, but pleaded down to misdemeanor. And look, things happen, right? People, I don't condone getting out there and fighting, but my biggest, to go back to, I feel like the question I've been asking this whole time, why? Like, if you're Alvin Kamara, you got dudes around you. Like, the only way that you should be fighting is if somebody is threatening you, like, it's you. They're threatening you, and you don't have a team that's surrounding you, or they're threatening your family, or breaking in your home, or anything like that. I totally get that. But going out of your way to get into an altercation, dude, you play running back in the NFL. You don't have to prove you're tough to damn near nobody. Nobody. Like, that's part I don't. It's a stupid decision. People make stupid decisions all the time. I hope he's learned from it, and I hope Alvin has a great year. I hope he's not suspended 6 games or whatever. He is going to talk to Roger Goodell, which, great, have fun with that. But glad he did plead it down. Let's get through this. Let's get past this. The Saints, trying to get back there, and I hope they do.
I would only fight someone if they showed up to my garage at 5 a.m.
Yeah, I know. And the first thing I saw was their feet.
Yeah.
No, you guys don't understand. Like that primal instinct kicks in. Like, I was almost just like a caveman. Like, I just looked for like a club. It's like,
Oh, spear just turned up in your hand.
Yeah.
Love that.
Like the person was about to mess around and find out. Did Reed say anything in the chat about it?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
She said something like, "Tell me which neighbor it was. I need to have words with him."
Hold on.
No, y'all don't want that smoke. Y'all thought I was bad. You're lucky I was the one that walked out of the garage. I'll mess with that woman at 5 a.m. All right, Booster Club real quick. Then let's get in these quarterback battles.
All right, let's go to Mo Bama, not Mo Bamba, if anybody wants to ask. Is there a common thing that causes teams to have perpetually injured players, like the way they work out or the way they practice?
Yeah. That's one of the main causes of it. That's why having a strength coach is so important. That's why learning. I'm putting out a tweet, one a day. Fall camp rules. Number 1 was if you're still going into fall camp, if you're still having to learn how to practice, then you're already screwed, right? The teams that play the best practice the best. Now, people are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt in the weight room. You can do everything right, follow all the protocols, have the best system. People are going to get hurt. They're going to get injured. It's going to happen at practice. It's one of those things. But if you're going out of your way to do risky things, then you do have a very big hand in what happens. And yes, there have been programs that have overdone it. There's been programs that have overdone it in strength and conditioning that have led to people having more injuries.
So there's one down the road in the Titans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason they're hurt. They're like most hurt team going into the season. That's the way variable coaches them, I guess. Let's go to Jimbo Eagle, $5 donation. Appreciate it, Jimbo. Given the current circumstances of the Colts, what is the earliest you would consider drafting Jonathan Taylor in fantasy football?
I wouldn't.
Should I just answer
Here's
this?
the thing. Fantasy football and being a GM is totally different. I would not take the theorem of the running back market really doesn't, downplay the running back market in fantasy football. Don't do that. That's not how that works. I would, he's a lot further. I'm more worried about the offensive line performing up to what they should be. They're the highest paid offensive line in the league. And then you look at, you got a new quarterback, so you're going to be leaning on the run game, which means that you're predictable, which means defenses know you're going to be leaning on the run game.
I'd probably say 4 to 7.
I think that's about right.
I agree with that.
That's about right. I would take Tony Pollard
number 1 last year.
I would take Tony Pollard ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to Stephen Moore. Let's go to Caitlin Everett. Hashtag Ask Crain & Co. If you were to put in the charge of the Texans today, what would you guys do to make positive changes?
I like what D'Amico's doing.
Yeah.
They brought in Will Anderson to be the leader because I don't think CJ is very vocal. Yep. I think the Texans are doing it right. Yeah. I love what they did in the draft. I love the way D'Amico goes about his business. I would not change a thing right now. I don't think there's anything I would sit here and switch up or change the method to the madness because we still have to see. I mean, we got a season to play. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sit here and critique somebody that I haven't seen perform yet.
Yeah, they're going to trend up, man.
They will.
Get John Mechie back.
I like the hire. Yep.
So to Heartbroken Hog, he says the Jets will be the 3rd or 4th best team in the AFC. Chiefs, Bengals, maybe Jags, then Jets. They'll be better than the Bills and the Ravens, though. Ravens is going to be an interesting team.
Ravens are going to be
Odell Beckham, Zay Jones, who's
pissed off Lamar.
Problem.
Yeah, Zay Jones.
A problem.
Zay's got some witch in him. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get to these top 5 college quarterback battles.
QB battles. Do we have the sound? Play a sound.
Do we have
play a sound?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Only one.
Real shivery vibe.
Yeah, if you're on the audio right now, there's like an old school, what's that Tom Cruise where he's like a samurai warrior? The Last
Samurai?
Yeah. So there's always some very intriguing college football quarterback battles, right? There's ones in the NFL, but we're talking college football right now. If you got a college football question, throw it in the chat. I want to discuss. But we thought we'd list our top 5 quarterback battles going into fall camp. And boys, there are some good ones.
Yeah.
Number 1's obvious, though, right? Now, this is a collective list. Okay, so we all agreed on this. There was a little bit of disagreement, but listen, you got to be malleable, right? You can't be stubborn. It's a team effort. We're team guys. We put the me in team. All right, number 1, it's Alabama. I mean, when's the last time that Alabama's had to replace a left tackle and a quarterback in the same year? We'll discuss that later. We've talked about it multiple times on the show. But Tyler Buckner, Ty Simpson, Jalen Milroe. So here's what I'll say. We'll drop a nugget, then you tell me who you think's going to win it. All right? I don't think you bring in people in the transfer portal to play, just like in junior college. Tommy Reese, old OC, recruited Tyler Buckner. Now, the system's going to be old school Alabama. Do I think Tyler Buckner is a great guy to be up there running 12 personnel, play action, sit in the pocket, throw it? I haven't seen enough. I watched him throw it to Marshall a bunch. That's what I watched him throw it to Stephon Gilmore's little brother a bunch. But he's still developing. I think there's a lot of potential there. In the system that Alabama's going to run, it's all about the system, right? Jalen Milroe does not fit the system. Jalen Milroe fits a system like Hugh Freeze is running. An RPO, quarterback on the move, not a pro-style set. Ty Simpson, I think, skill set fits it the best, but he doesn't have any experience. That's a lot to ask. So to me, it's unbelievably intriguing that it's a 3-team race. It says a lot. They brought in Tyler Buckner as late as they did. I'm going Tyler Buckner wins the job.
And look, all 3 of them, I'm hearing from inside the program, all 3 of them have a chance to win the job in fall camp. Now, as we sit here before camp even starts, I would probably go Jalen Milroe. But again, there's
even in the system, you think?
Yeah, just because I feel like if all 3 of them aren't great, then at least he gives you an opportunity to get out of trouble with his legs. So I pulled up a couple stats here. This is Jalen Milroe from last season. Not a huge sample size. 53 pass attempts. He completed 31 of them. So 58.5% completion percentage, 297 yards. He threw 5 touchdowns and 3 picks. But also not a large sample size with Tyler Buckner because he had an injury last season. 83 attempts. That's 46 completions. All right, 55% completion percentage, 651 yards. He threw 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. So, just a similar sample size between the 2 guys there. No one's really standing out.
Yeah, so, it's unknown, which
I know.
Crazy.
I'd go Ty Simpson. I think Ty's going to fit the system best. I think from a complete quarterback, I would go Ty. I don't think Buckner throws.
But you look at that sample size, there is none.
Ty Simpson? He's only thrown 5 times. He's 4 for 5. I think about Jalen Milroe, I think he's almost, 60%, 59% completion percentage, but he's averaging 4.5 yards per completion.
Yeah, and when Jalen Milroe, and again, guys get better, right? I'm never get the potential. Jalen Milroe is maybe the best athlete on Alabama's team, as crazy as that sounds. But when Jalen Milroe misses, he misses bad. It's one thing to be a little bit off here, a little bit off there. And it's like in pitching, right? Some guys miss. Some guys, when they miss bad. And you can be effectively wild in baseball, where guys are a little bit nervous when they're up there, and that works. Not in football. There's no such thing as effectively wild. So Alabama, number 1. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to win that one as well. Number 2, another big dog in the sport, Coney, Ohio State.
Yep.
Right? And everybody is all on Ohio State this year. I get the wide receiver group's great, right? They did lose a couple offensive linemen. We know how they recruit. The defense should be even better. But people are talking about, they're going to be able to beat Georgia this year. And I know Georgia's replacing a quarterback, but let's not. I feel like that's disrespectful to C.J. Stroud. I heard somebody on College Football Live was just on the TV yesterday while Reed was making this incredible barbecue chicken bowl, and Harry Douglas, who is a great player, was talking about all the quarterback has to do at Ohio State is just not screw it up. That's not beating Georgia, brother.
Yeah.
That's not what Ohio State wants. I don't agree with that at all. You got Kyle McCord, who's the experienced one, versus Devin Brown, who's kind of the up-and-comer. I think Kyle McCord's going to win this job.
I do too.
And I don't know if you have his numbers pulled up for everybody yet, but
not a large sample size.
It's not a large sample size. He was the favorite coming out of spring. Ryan Day was quoted as saying, this is 247 Sports. I'm not sure it's a huge gap at this point, but certainly not enough to make a decision. I think it's going to be Kyle McCord, and I tell you, man, I've just got to see it.
Look,
Devin Brown, I think, has a chance to be special down the road.
There's a few things I worry about in life. One of them is are the Buckeyes going to have a great quarterback? The last 3, when you talk about Dwayne Haskins and Justin Fields and the guy we just talked about with the Texans, C.J. Stroud, all 3 of them near 70% completion percentage, over 4,000 yards, all 3 of them Heisman Trophy finalists. And those are just the ones that we're talking about under Ryan Day. Forget, going back to when I played. You had just every single year, they somehow get better and better.
But we see this, though, and you know this. You go on these run of quarterbacks, and eventually you hit that one speed bump, right?
Yes.
Who's it going to be this
year? I wouldn't be mad about that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, right now is not the time for Ryan Day to miss a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's exactly
and
right.
not be able to beat Michigan. Now is not the time.
You're going to the big house.
They're not going to be as good as CJ or the couple guys you've had in front. Because they've been.
You say that.
Yeah, I at least not right now.
Joe Burrow had to transfer out of there to go win a Heisman Trophy and a
I know, but that's also franchise Joey. So, it's a little bit different. But I think it's Kyle McCord. Hell, the kid got a Benz a month ago.
Yeah, well, but between those two, which school pulls, and I love Cade Club. This has nothing to do with Cade Club, Nick. Which school pulls a Clemson? Great run of quarterbacks, one speed bump, tries to get back to it. Like with DJU. Is it Bama or is it Ohio State?
I'd say it's more likely to be Alabama.
I don't think, I think with Clemson, it's like the quarterback field, but their skill position players were mediocre.
I agree.
I don't know if that'll ever happen at Ohio State.
No.
Ever.
And they're creatures they have running around on the outside.
So it's just ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. So, all right. Number 3. This may surprise some people. Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Max Johnson, Connor Wegman.
Yep.
I think Connor's going to win it. Now, if he does, Max is out of there. But I think Max is got to graduate. There's something. I think he may wait until December, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a little hold up there with Max Johnson. Now, I do think Connor Wegman has a chance to be special. I'm leaning towards A&M going 9-3 this year. Not making my final prediction of the end of fall camp. I still am just so shocked, and I don't want to go back in the past, and I know A&M fans don't either, unless it's 1939. But I still can't believe that Jimbo watched Haynes King throw the ball and then watched Max Johnson throw the ball and still somehow picked Haynes King. But watching Connor last year, I think he had 8 touchdowns, no interceptions, something like that. Bobby Petrino coming in. Pretty sure Connor Wegman's going to win this one, but you do have a very capable backup in Max Johnson. I don't think anybody would just be shocked if Max Johnson won it, but I think this is kind of a sneaky quarterback battle not a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, and I really like Max Johnson, man. I mean, he's the son of a Super Bowl champion and Brad Johnson, and the situation that he was in at LSU was not a good one with Ed Orgeron, sort of during his exit. Comes over to Texas A&M last year. He really righted that ship after they put him in for Haynes King. I don't know if he'll be the guy or not, but people should go listen to our interview with Billy Lucci over at Texags.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
God, man, it's something about Steady Betty Max that I just like. I just feel like Max might not be the starter once the season starts, but I think Max is going to be the guy. I really do.
Like midway through?
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because are you taking injury off the table?
No, I'm taking performance based. I think Wegman's going to start slow, then here comes Max.
So then what's their record if that happens? Because that means things haven't gone well.
I'll never believe they're going to win more than 8 games until I see it.
Okay.
I'll never believe that.
I mean, they won.
I don't care if they show up with the Avengers.
They won 9 in 2020.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wasn't that COVID year?
But see, you say that everybody went through COVID. They didn't play in all SEC schedule.
I don't even count the bubble, to be honest.
Yeah, they won 9 and played fewer. They played fewer games.
Crazy, I know, but still. I didn't really, that year's really not coming back to me. I can't remember. I think it was a Thanos snap your fingers situation.
So did Bama, does that national title, should that not count?
No, I don't think it should ever. I don't think it count any of them at all. Give me Max.
So really? the Lakers
later?
Championship doesn't count either, right?
Yeah.
No. Lakers, okay, good.
No,
just want to make sure.
So wait, you're saying Max is going to win the job?
No, I'm saying Max is going to be starting by the middle of the season.
Okay, all right. Performance-based. Number 4, let's go out West Coast. Pac-12, going the way of the dodo bird. UCLA, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, gone. You have Dante Moore, which
5-star.
I don't know. There's reports that he may end up starting week 1. But you got Ethan Garbers, guy that's been there, and then Colin Schlee from Kent State. Remember watching this kid last year?
Oh.
He's got very athletic, was a high-ranked basketball recruit.
Bad.
There's just one thing I can't get out of my head. They were playing one game, I can't remember against who. And I had him. I had money of some action, and it was 4th down and 7, and he slid at 6 yards. I can't get that out of my head. Didn't get the first down. And he's 6'4", 220. I can't get that out of my head. Now, coming out of spring, a lot of people felt like Garbers is going to be the guy. I'm leaning more toward Dante Moore with Chip Kelly. Why? Because who did they just have and had success with? Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the most similar skill set-wise, style-wise to DTR? Dante Moore, right? And he's your 5-star. I don't know if Chip Kelly made any promises. I think Chip's not that type of guy. But I got a feeling Dante Moore is going to be the guy.
I think so, too.
Yeah. I mean, it fits. It just feels right? It really does. First of all, the kid's super athletic, kind of freakish. If you really watch him. He's got the pizzazz, the flash, the wow factor, and always fits in with the chips with quarterback. I'm more interested to see how they replace the running back situation.
Yeah.
With Charbonnet being gone, who's a monster.
Monster.
By the way. And UCLA, there's always just a good football team. Schematically,
Well, Chip's
Chip just witches his way around calling an offense. It's just fun to watch. But I think Dante Moore fits him the best.
All right, last one. Let's go back to the
Who
SEC.
is it?
Staying in these are 3 SEC West teams. We didn't even have Auburn in here. Ole Miss.
Oh, it's got like 9 quarterbacks.
They've got 19 quarterbacks.
This one's
in there.
interesting,
now,
man.
You got Walker Howard, the transfer from LSU.
Yep.
You got Jackson Dart, that started from last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Spencer Sanders, the Oklahoma State quarterback that transferred, that's won a lot of games, was part of the come up of Oklahoma State, kind of the shifting tides there.
And Austin Simmons, reclassified 4-star from Florida.
Yep. I think Walker Howard is a guy for the future. Because, again, I mean, Jackson and Spencer are both older. I don't think it's going to be Walker. I think it's going to come down to Jackson and Spencer. Jackson's been in that system. If he can just stop throwing interceptions to players on the intermediate level, whether it's linebackers, whether it's nickels, whether it's down safeties, dropping defensive linemen, if he could see the intermediate better, I think it's got to be Jackson Dart, right? I think it's got to be him.
Here's another example where the stats are a little bit similar from last season. So Jackson Dart for 2022, 62% completion percentage. He threw for 2,900 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 11 picks. Spencer Sanders, coming over from Oklahoma State, 57% completion percentage, 2,600 yards. He threw 17 touchdowns and 9 picks. But keep in mind, he's been starting for 4 years. He's had over 9,000.
Keep in mind, 5 of those picks were in like one game.
Yeah.
He threw 5 picks in one.
I think this legitimately has a chance to be a true 2-quarterback system.
You think so?
I think it legitimately has a chance to be a true 2-quarterback system. To me, I think Jackson will be named the starter, but you'll see Spencer Sanders in a role, whether, I don't know if it's really nothing's ever 50-50, but is he in that red zone role? Is he in that, certain formations, certain personnel, certain packages role? I don't know if a guy that's played for 4 years and transferred is going to want to embrace that. We'll see. But I think this has the opportunity to be a true 2-quarterback system. And I got asked to answer this on Twitter before we bring Tom Luginbill in here. I don't think Auburn will have a true 2-quarterback system. I think Peyton Thorne will win the job, but Robbie Ashford will be your red zone player, will be your 3rd and short player, your 4th and short player, because it's not a wildcat because he can throw the ball. Now, if everything was even and Robbie Ashford immensely improved throwing the ball, I think he's the best quarterback in that room when you're running the type system that Hugh Freeze runs. So just to answer that question from Twitter. But if you have a question about hair loss, our friends at Provia, they can help you out if you're one of the millions of American men and women dealing with premature hair thinning, or maybe you're worried about inheriting hair loss because it runs in the family. You want to get back in the dating game maybe. Maybe you're looking in the mirror, you're not feeling good anymore, losing that self-esteem. You need to go to check out our friends over at Provia. It's Provia. They use a safe natural ingredient called Procapil. They support healthy scalp circulation. Blaine, real quick, your thoughts. If you got thinning hair, you're balding, you're worried, maybe your dad and your granddad, they both look like they're part of the Addams family now, and you don't want to look like that.
It's not a good situation, to be honest. I always say you want to come into a game a leg up or maybe a hair up. All right? Like you don't want to work that hard and be that funny to get what you want.
Yeah.
Hair, 80% of the battle. 80% of the battle.
David, don't you want to turn a hairy situation into
I want to stay away from hairy situations. That's why it's preventative, too. How do you think I got like this?
That's
you don't
true.
want to get bald.
Well,
and
you're
try,
an alien.
You want to try and solve the problem after. Let's be proactive.
That's another thing. I know.
With Provia.
That's true. So, take a minute. Real quick. What?
That's what I was going to say. Like, no one's going to feel like they just came out and told us aliens are real and no one cares about
It's
it.
a distraction.
No one cares
to
about
keep
it.
us distracted from
No,
what's
we're not going down the
Doesn't he
rabbit
seem
hole.
like he's really against, like, defending.
He is.
I don't want to
That
talk
makes me
about
think he's alien more.
aliens.
Yeah, it's real skeptical hippo over there.
Even if you are an alien and you're living here and you don't know how to fix your hair loss or you want to prevent it, take advantage of Provia's exclusive introductory summer package at proviahair.com/booster. Enter promo code BOOSTER at checkout for an extra discount on your order. See results for yourself right now. Don't wait. That's proviahair.com/booster. Turn your hairy situation into
aliens need hair. You want to fit in or what?
Tom Luginbill, our good friend, he's back.
There he
It's football
is.
season. The air's sweeter. The clouds are prettier. If they are clouds, birds aren't real. Tom Luginbill, what's up?
I got my hair.
Dude,
There
your
he
hair
is.
looks great.
Looks phenomenal.
Yeah, you may want
I'll
to take some
hair out.
Provia just to
On that.
keep that. That's exactly right.
Then there's like Procapils, like what the Oompa Loompas like used in the Wonka's factory to make the chocolate so good.
I told you
That's
that in
right.
confidence.
Yeah, I think that's
You
right.
told it to me confidently, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, Tom, you just heard we're talking about the quarterback battles. If you have a question for Tom, throw it in the Booster Club as well. Is there one that you find the most intriguing outside of, obviously, Alabama and Ohio State? Is there one maybe we didn't have on the list? Or out of the ones we had on the list, is there one that maybe you disagree or agree with?
No, I think two come to mind for me. I mean, obviously Ohio State, Alabama, even Georgia to some degree are the obvious ones. UCLA, I think, is a great discussion. The most fascinating one to me is Ole Miss. I mean, how do you have that collection of quarterbacks in today's transfer portal era of a guy who's thrown for almost 10,000 yards in Spencer Sanders, right? And then you've got Jackson Dart, who's immensely talented, but just comes up with a way of throwing the ball to the wrong team, right? And then you get Walker Howard to come in. I agree with you. I think he's got a tremendous future. They don't have to play him. It just works well. Austin Simmons reclassifies, but you got to give Spencer Sanders a lot of credit, guys. I mean, we're in this era right now, particularly at quarterback with the transfer portal, where if I'm not playing, I'm out of here. And this guy chooses to transfer to a team that has a returning starter, right? I mean that tells you something about the kid. So, it's going to be interesting. My only worry about Spencer Sanders is he has been injury prone his entire career. And you have to take that into account. I had them twice last year, and I mean, he could barely lift his right arm above his waist, and he's playing, he's tough, he's gutting it out. But if Jackson Dart shows any type of improvement in decision making, and again, he hadn't played a lot either. Last year really was his first year as a full-time starter. I think the second one that I look at, because I'm just scratching my head as to why everybody's just assuming that this guy's going to be the starter, and that's DJ Uiagalelei at Oregon State. I'm actually shocked they took him. I couldn't believe they took him. I mean, I would, off of tape and off of his performance and the streakiness, the inaccuracy, the inability to put the ball downfield, like I wouldn't have taken him. I think he looks great on the hook, but he doesn't play very well. And there's enough of a sample size, I think, to prove that kind of he is what you see.
Yeah.
And that is a football team that could be a sneaky problem in the Pac-12. And maybe he'll be the guy. Maybe I'll be proven wrong and he'll be an entirely different player. I don't believe that, but I think that one's intriguing out west for Jonathan Smith.
Without a doubt. And when you look at the Spencer Sanders thing, because I do think there's a chance that we see some split reps. Especially if Jackson's going to get named the starter. If he struggles early, then I think you're going to see it. But I think this is one of the few times where maybe Spencer Sanders, who I don't think is going to be an NFL quarterback, he's dealt with a lot of injuries. Maybe this is I want to be a coach when I get done playing move. I'm an older guy going to study under Lane Kiffin. Some people said that people were saying that about Tyler Buckner. I was like, this kid's like 13 years old. You don't do that when you're that age. You're a scholarship guy. That's not why he did that. Those are two totally different situations. But I do find that very interesting. Tom, I want to ask you real quick, and me and you kind of talked about this off air. We're going to get to the expansion stuff. I know obviously David wants to talk about that as well. We all do. But how would you legislate right now? We're living in a crazy world, right? You look at what's going on in the NFL, rookies, you look at what's going on with NIL and the transfer portal. How would you, Tom Luginbill, legislate NIL and the transfer portal at the same damn time?
I would treat it as best I could like the National Football League. I would treat it like a collective bargaining agreement. And I say that because we're in a state of college football right now where the players want and get everything that they want, right? And that's not how a CBA works. Like in the NFL, right? The owners and the teams, they give some, and the players and their association, they give some, and you come to common ground, but neither party gets whatever they want, right? So, like, I look at name, image, and likeness right now, and my issue, and I don't know if you guys saw, I was speaking to a group of the top 50 underclassmen in this class, and I had about a 15-minute session with them, and a little snippet of it we posted on social media, and it's got a lot of mixed reviews, but essentially what I was referencing is the transfer portal, particularly as it relates to players that are in their freshman and sophomore year, haven't even been on campus for 2 years. And how many of the people in the transfer portal are jumping or are in the portal that aren't even juniors or seniors, certainly haven't gotten towards graduation. In essence, what I was referencing is they haven't even competed yet. They haven't even given it a chance. The moment something doesn't go their way, the moment they're not playing or they're not starting or they're disgruntled, what's their first natural inclination? It's to leave, right? Because most of them can be very young. They can be very immature. Have you guys looked at a rookie NFL contract and seen how ironclad that is? You should go take a look at it. It's a 4-year contract. There are maximum floors, maximum ceilings, and really no wiggle room in negotiation. So in the National Football League, if I get drafted in the first round and I sign my contract and I go out as a rookie and I'm all pro, does that player just get to leave and go throw himself on the open market and find out who's the highest bidder?
Nope.
But let me ask you this, Tom. Does that then open the door to having to make them employees?
Well, I think we're heading that way anyway. It's a great question. The only way to stay out of court in all of this and to avoid antitrust lawsuits is to make them employees. Remove the scholarship side of it and turn them into employees. That's the only way we stay out of court.
Tim, let me ask you this though, because I've been thinking. Obviously, we all love the sport. We care about the sport a ton. We want to do it the right way. If they were to, and I think we're going this way. If they were to branch off and make a college football commission, right, that replaces the NCAA. Greg Sankey ends up being the czar, the emperor, whatever the hell you want to call it. Is there a possibility, and again, I'm not a legal scholar by any stretch of the imagination, but any way that when you sign a letter of intent, or you're going to play within this college football commission, that you don't become an employee, but you sign a waiver saying, I will adhere to these rules because I am joining this organization, this commission or whatever, in the capacity as a player, not as an employee. Is there a way that you could structure something like that where then you couldn't go sue them because they signed that waiver? Is there a way to do that?
I think there is, but again, that's through collective bargaining, right? That's through coming to the table.
I agree.
I think there is.
I'm trying to thread the needle.
No, and I hear you, but I guess the point that I'm trying to make is we're sitting here throwing all this money at all these kids, and then we're basically telling them that if they want to up and leave, they can up and leave, and they don't have to adhere to anything. But that's not what we do in the National Football League with professionals, with adults, right? We've got to come to some common ground here where everybody gets something, but neither side gets everything that they want. And listen, I'm not anti-player movement, but I do think that there has to be some standards. There has to be some stipulations that you have to meet. I would love to see academic progress tied to it to some degree, in some way, shape, or form, something that the player has to adhere to, because again, they're under scholarship. They're not employees, which is the other part of the NIL problem, and that is you can't put performance stipulations in their contracts. So if I sign an NIL deal as a player and I end up being a bum, I'm still entitled to that money. That's not how the real world works. That's insanity. Why would we be doing that? And that's how it works right now, and the players know it. And there are people out there that've got money to burn, money to lose, and they're so entrenched in their program, and they want to lure this kid and they want to lure that kid. Well, my argument would be, who's more disappointed in DJ Uiagalelei, Dr. Pepper or Dabo Sweeney?
That's great stuff. This
Both
is why we
have a
Tom
case.
on.
I mean, a few of the problems with making these college football players employees and having a union and creating a collective bargaining agreement is these aren't 100% private institutions. I mean, these colleges get a lot of public funds, right? Like, for instance, with the XFL, if the XFL were just the semi-pro version of the NFL, then, you would pay guys. What else do they have to trade? They don't have an education to trade. And the second thing is football is just one of the sports that we're talking about at these 50% public funded institutions. You have a complete collective bargaining agreement. You may have every other sport fall by the wayside because they're not profitable, which if that's where we want to go and say, hey, if you're not profitable, then we're not going to have a water polo team at this university, then, I'm open for the discussion, but I think my college experience would have been, not as great.
And now you have Title IX issues too.
Yeah, you're opening up a whole new can of worms.
This whole thing, I guess my point is this whole thing is so muddy, but its current state is not sustainable.
Yeah.
And, like for example, everybody talks about the transfer portal, and player movement and freedom. Let me ask you guys this. Have we seen a team win a national championship or make a college football playoff because of the transfer portal? No. And you know what? We never will. Because doesn't matter how many guys transfer here, how many guys transfer there. If you don't have Georgia's resources, if you don't have Alabama's resources, if you don't have Ohio State's resources or Clemson, it ain't going to matter. Yeah. We are widening the gap, guys. Everybody thinks, the NIL and the transfer portal, it's going to really create parity, and it's going to close the window between an Alabama and a Kansas State. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's going to widen it.
Well, Tom,
widen it.
Yeah, I agree with that. What I always say is you want to use a fully healthy program. You want to use the transfer portal to plug the holes in the ship. In the sport of football, you cannot build the ship out of the transfer portal.
Nope.
It's not basketball where there's 5 guys on the floor and you got a roster of 13 on scholarship. It isn't baseball where you've got a roster of, with the NCAA, like 11 and a half guys on scholarship. That's a story for another day. You have, 85 scholarships. I know you can change like the 25 you sign now. You got 120 guys, 125 on the roster, whatever it is. It's the ultimate team sport. There has to be development. You can't have that much turnover and be able to win at the level of these other players that are developing players.
Blaine, jump in.
Yeah, Tom, I'm going to get the booster here, Lugs. That's cool with you. We're going to Texas Ed. He wants to know how many transfer portal players are leaving because the school was chosen during COVID without any visits and basically out of a phone booth.
I think it's a great question, but I also have been around it long enough to know that, unfortunately, most decisions are made almost entirely based on relationships and not facilities, not development, not resources, not your stadium, not your crowd or your support. Now, I'm not including where we're at in name, image, and likeness now, because prior to COVID or during COVID, we weren't quite dealing with what we're dealing with now. But I remember Lloyd Carr made a great statement. He said, if you're committing or signing with a school because of a coach, you're making a mistake. And I agree with that. Coach-player relationships are super important. And the ones that can manage it and massage it in recruiting on the coaching side are worth their weight in gold, right? But the reality is it's an unstable, movement-based business. So there better be some substance to your decision when you make that call. You do need to sit down and whether it's your family or your support structure, and talk about the other things involved in being a student athlete, being a student, all right, being on campus, the social side, the academic side, the emotional side. Where do I fit? If football went away tomorrow, would I like going to school here, right? So, but we're putting too much stock in a 16, 17-year-old kid, generally, most of them, to really, truly consider the bigger picture. So I don't know if it was COVID. I think it's more that, when you get attached to a certain guy and you love that guy, you'll sign for that guy. And it happens a lot. And I think that leads to mistakes too, because let's not forget, once you arrive on that campus, the de-recruitment phase starts. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And that guy that was loving you up for 2.5 years, he might be MFing you now up and down in every drill, right?
Yeah.
And you're going, who is this guy? Well, now your maturity starts to come into play, right? Because now your feelings are hurt. And now, guess what? You have self-doubt. Now you're wondering if I made the wrong decision and all of this and that. Why? Because maybe you put all your weight into that one relationship.
Yeah. Well, they say about recruiting, when I recruit you, take on your personality. When you come here, you take on our personality.
That is very true. And if there's time, I have one more question.
Oh, David, we got plenty of time.
Tom, there's an
we have all
absolute...
kinds of time. I'm not leaving.
Tom's staying here forever,
Tom, you
David.
stay here forever. Because there's an absolute witch hunt going on in Ann Arbor right now, okay? Jim Harbaugh is apparently negotiating with the NCAA for a 4-game suspension to start the season over what I'm calling Burgergate. Now, my question for you in 2 parts. I get the Brown Jug hamburgers are very, very good, but 4 games seems excessive, no?
Yes, but are we focusing too much on the meal part of it and not focusing enough on the COVID contact with players? Because that is a big, big no-no, or it was at the time.
Or being dishonest to the NCAA is another thing people are talking about.
I think that it's far more those 2 things than it is the hamburger thing. I think it's easy to grab that because it's low-hanging fruit. But I think when you're dishonest with the NCAA, or you pull the old I don't recall, or you did get caught red-handed recruiting and having contact during a pandemic, which, and I remember that time. We all know, the situation that Arizona State went through. And listen, Arizona State and Michigan weren't the only ones doing it. We'd all be naive if we thought that, right? But the bottom line is, if you did it, you got caught. That's where the 4-game suspension is. And by the way, guys, I mean, could a 9-year-old 4th grade girl with a field hockey background coach through those first 4 games?
Probably.
Hey, you got Rutgers.
I mean, what are we talking about?
We got Rutgers, and East Carolina's on the rise, okay? All right, Tom? Which brings me to the second part of the question. Could this actually be good for Michigan football? You know, saying they get through those first 4 games if Jim Harbaugh is suspended, could the narrative now switch from, oh, Michigan's supposed to be great this year and their roster's elite? You know, even the last 2 college football playoff appearances haven't warranted a lot of the praise that Michigan has gotten entering this season. Now, to me, the narrative can switch. They can say, our backs are against the wall. Let's circle the wagons for our head coach. What do you think about that?
I think we might be giving the players too much credit. I'm not sure the players care. And not to mention, from what I've heard, Jim Harbaugh will be allowed to be on campus and at practice during that suspension, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, it's not official, so.
I think that's how it's been laid out. So think about it. Think about the minimal, literally, the minimal, smallest, slightest distraction in all of this is 3.5 hours on 4 Saturdays. Everything else remains the same. And I think that the players are mature enough and the staff is cohesive enough to where if they're worried about their head coach not being there on a Saturday, I think then they're allowing themselves to be distracted. I really believe that. I think it's too good of a team, too good of a roster, too much depth, established quarterback now. A lot of people feel like they are a surefire college football playoff team, and we'll find out if Penn State is what people think they're going to be, and if Ohio State develops a quarterback. But I think we're probably worrying a little too much about this from the player perspective. Like, if it was me, like, I can't control it, so why should I worry about it?
Yeah. And they're older, which helps. We talked about, we were going to talk about expansion. Came out some rumors, and listen, again, it's like high school when it comes to talking about this. You know, obviously, you look at Oregon and Washington, I think they're legitimate candidates to go to the Big Ten to help build that bridge for USC and UCLA, even though, ironically, old AD at USC, Mike Bohm, was trying to put up roadblocks for Oregon, because it's such a crazy geographical situation, going from, obviously, the West Coast to having to go out there and play, and not just for football, for the smaller sports that play more games than the football team does.
It's worse for that than it is for football.
It's way worse, because they're going to pump enough money. Like, it's, again, less games. We know how much money's funneled in there. But then Jack McGuire from Barstool said that he was hearing that Clemson and Florida State could possibly jump to the Big Ten. There's no way in hell that happens for multiple reasons. I would be absolutely shocked. Number one, ESPN isn't letting you get out of that contract to go over there with Fox in the Big Ten. Yeah. Number one. If they're going anywhere, it's to a place that is under contract by ESPN, like, I don't know, the SEC. So do you think the Clemson Florida State rumors was just, and I like Jack, I got no problem with Jack, and I don't know who he talks to, but do you think there's any shot in hell that Clemson and Florida State could possibly go to the Big Ten? Question part B, do you think there's a better chance that Oregon and Washington end up in the Big Ten than the Big 12?
Yeah, I think there's a better chance that Oregon and Washington would end up in the Big Ten over the Big 12. From the Clemson and Florida State question, you'd have to ask yourself how.
Yeah.
How would they do it? I mean, it's and even if you attempted to do it, how would you be able to do it in a timely fashion? I don't think you would be able to. So it might be brought up, and I think you're right. I mean, Clemson and Florida State are SEC teams. I mean, that's where they would belong, right? And Greg Sankey would jump all over that, and ESPN, my employer, probably would jump all over it as well. But that one's a lot more muddy than I think the Oregon and Washington thing. And listen, we keep talking about all this realignment, and everybody talks about fit or this and that. Fit has nothing to do with it. It's money. It's revenue. That's all this is about. It's about jockeying for position to survive in an eventual super conference type of scenario. And when the music stops, you're not left without a chair. That's all this is about is trying to maintain health. Like Colorado, as bad as that program is right now, Colorado just completely cemented themselves for sustainability, right? Yeah. I mean, bottom line, I mean, that's what they've done. And what does it say about the Pac-12 when San Diego State at the Group of 5 level steps back and says, I think we're going to wait this one out?
Yeah. No, and again, we'll see with the Pac-12 when they announce their deal with Nickelodeon or whoever the hell that is at some point today, or obviously the deadline was yesterday. But
the CW, man, they're gonna
like that, dude.
They're gonna air their games after reruns of Dawson's Creek.
That's exactly right. Right before Charmed. It's gonna be great.
Yes.
Can't wait to watch that one. But Tom, great stuff, man. Tell everybody where they can find your work. Obviously, the season's coming up, man. You're going to be all over the place. You're like Carmen Sandiego. I mean, where in the world is this guy?
I'll be on College Football Live tomorrow and Thursday, and then littered throughout the month of August as we head into the season. And then, of course, on ABC and ESPN throughout the fall. We don't know our opening game yet. Don't even know. I know our crew, but I can't release that. But we don't know our games yet, so we'll sit and wait for that one.
Man, well, we always appreciate it, Tom, when you come on, man. Thanks so much.
Hell yeah, Lugs.
All right, guys. Have a great week.
Peace, brother.
You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy, Lug. How about that? Love it. Always love Tom Luginbill. Okay, we got to get your reactions, but Booster Club real quick, Blanye.
It's got to control. Dalt deletes. I'm taking the under on Nebraska, over-under of 6 wins. Where do you put the Fighting Matt Rules in year 1?
Ooh, I need to see the schedule, but I want to let everybody know Boston College over 5.5 wins at -120 is free money.
You like that one,
It's free money. Look at their schedule. It is free American tender, baby.
All right, 6 wins. Schedule right here. You're at Minnesota week 1.
Loss.
At Colorado week 2.
Win.
Northern Illinois at home week 3.
Win.
Louisiana Tech week 4 at home.
Win.
But
You get killed by Michigan in week 5.
Yes.
Yes.
You
That's
go
3-2? We're 3-2 now?
We're 3-2.
3, yeah.
3-2. Go to Michigan. No, you have Michigan at home, excuse me. Good luck. Then you go to Illinois.
They might lose.
I'm going to say lose. Let's go 3-3. Let's just say 3-3. Brett Bielema, stomach poking out.
You got the Fighting Dry Humpers in North Western at home.
Stop it.
4-3.
Win in more ways than one.
Yeah. Then you have Purdue at home.
I'm going to give him a win.
Give me Nebraska. I like it.
All right.
5.
and
Go
3.
to Michigan State.
I think Michigan State finds a way to beat them.
Yeah, but
All right.
I think Michigan State's going to be it.
Then you have Maryland at home.
Win. 6.
You go to
You got to beat Maryland at home?
Yeah.
You go to Wisconsin.
It's at Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 6.
You go to Wisconsin.
Loss.
You have Iowa at home.
Oh!
No, I think it's a push, man.
I think it's a push.
I think
it's a push. I agree with you.
It could be worse for Nebraska
For
year
sure.
1 for
Matt Rule, year 1. Hey, come on, let's just find out. Need to know where the bathrooms are. Everything like that. All right, one more.
Let's go to Ryan Landers, $5 donation. Appreciate it, Ryan. Who would win Georgia versus Bama matchup comprised of current NFL players?
Oh, man.
Man, I have to look that up.
Alabama, the depth would be crazy right now.
Yeah.
Who's playing?
Matt Stafford.
Oh, that is true. You're going way back. Yeah.
Staff.
True.
Matt Stafford, Nick Chubb.
Who would start for the Alabama side at this point? Jalen Hurts just signed the largest contract.
I'm putting Bryce there. I don't care what he says.
You're putting Bryce? I'm putting
Bryce.
Yeah, you're out of your mind.
Putting Bryce
Have you
there.
seen the 4th down conversion percentage for
Bryce
Jalen
there.
Hurts?
I'm putting Bryce there.
Man,
Putting Bryce there.
I've got to go Jalen at quarterback. The wide receiver group for Bama.
That's wild.
Why y'all putting Oklahoma guys in the Georgia-Bama game?
That's this guy.
Look, I'm not trying
at
to
Blaine.
start
What
it.
is it? At Crain_Blaine.
Yeah, at whatever. Look in the sky.
Alabama fans, get on him. Let him know what the deal is.
All right, let's get to reactions. I'm going to get to this really badly.
All right, first one up. The Notre Dame jerseys. Did you guys see this video that Notre Dame football team released?
Yeah, I thought it was
Mark and Freeman.
Oh, God, this always looks terrible.
I have a little snippet of it here. Play this, please.
Show me the green jersey!
I hate it.
I love Sam Hartman.
I love Sam Hartman!
Who has the baddest uniform?
Notre Dame has the baddest uniforms!
What you gonna do, Coach Free?
Show me the green jersey!
All right, the Jerry Maguire spoof. Now the green jerseys.
Ew!
The green jerseys are pretty sick.
That's
They're
most-
better. They're way better
No,
than
they're
the
not.
video.
They probably suck. I mean, to be honest.
No, I saw it. They're fired.
That's the most Notre Dame thing I've ever seen.
Look, it just shows you how good of an actor Tom Cruise is, even though he has 3 middle teeth.
He does. And he's a Scientologist.
That's cringy, man. Like, that one's kind of cringy. Like, I like what they're trying to do.
But
like
if your
the one
players, here's a question to you as a former coach: if your players come to you and they want to do ideas like this, do you say no? Do you shut
No,
it
I don't
down?
say no. We make
You just
it a better
do it better.
idea.
You do it better.
Yeah, we do a better job of it.
A lot of people liked it. I wasn't one of them, but I do like the
a
green
lot of
jerseys.
people are liars.
They are liars. That is true.
Here's what I will say, and actually, Luginbill, I got to give Luginbill credit. We were texting back and forth on this yesterday, and I agree with him. If you're going to unveil a jersey, do it when you run out of the tunnel. Don't make a video unveiling it the season.
Yeah.
Do we have a picture of the green jersey at all?
Do we have the green jerseys? That might be my fault. I cut the video. I could only watch so much of the video.
Yeah, the videos that was cringy. We've seen Notre Dame in green jerseys before, but I like the jersey.
But the thing is, the pants are green too in this combo.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right.
Thing, which I don't know if that's doing too much.
I need to see it. I need to see it on them when they're running out.
Just like, I just don't like them. Only cool thing about them is like maybe like we kind of get the grass look.
They're rocking the Shamrock
different
shakes.
color. They're like maybe match the unis. We're laying down outside the numbers.
Yeah.
You're World War I in them.
Something like that. I get it.
You're in favor of the green jerseys, but no on the video.
No, I think both of them are trash.
Okay, but both of them are mid.
I'm good on the uniform.
Sub mid.
Mid is too much credit.
Yeah, okay. I'm good on the uniform.
Was terrible.
I'm good on the uniform. Jersey sucks. I mean, good on.
Yeah, he's good on the uniform, but the jersey day.
I'm mind mouth.
I'm good on the uniform. All right, video sucks.
Flop a river.
Next one up. Let's bring up this.
I'm gonna drown you in a river.
Next one up. Bring up this Michigan football plate. There we go. Okay, because I have a few things to say.
First off, before you say anything about this, I want you to open the present read.
No, wait. If
right now,
yes.
Before I do this,
I want you to open a present.
If Reed got him Breccia, not me.
Reed got me a present.
So she was in
now
Traverse
I'm starting
City,
to think
Michigan.
it's food. She was in Traverse City.
Yeah.
All right.
In Traverse City.
God's country.
What's
I've never been there.
First of all, that's not God's country, Dave. We know where God's country.
God has a lot of country. Earth is God's country. Earth is my planet.
Earth is my planet.
All right, here we go. We're opening the present.
She said she wants you to consider this a personal gift from her to you.
There's no crying in football except in Ann Arbor. How did you get this in Traverse City?
She ran into it. She was so worried that.
Thank you. I really appreciate this, Reed, because I'm gonna have to wipe later.
No, yeah, she was so thought it was so hilarious when she found it at the store. She was like, "Should I get this?" I was like, "Yes."
All right.
And she was wrapping it yesterday.
That's a funny gift.
She was like, "Cone's gonna be mad at me. I'm not gonna give it to him."
Anyway,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That is a funny gift and a perfect segue here into the Michigan football food plate. I have a couple things to say. First off, apparently this is on an unofficial visit. There's a couple things. One, this is fake news. All right, this is a Buckeye recruit or a Spartan recruit that posted this up trying to make us look bad. Second of all, if it is true, what's wrong with this? This is an awesome plate. We got chicken fingers here. All right, mac and cheese probably tastes just like Mama made. Yeah. A hot dog on here. I don't want to hear anything from you. You call yourself the Glizzy Gobbler.
So this will get
hold
critiqued.
on, stop. And there's a bottle of ketchup up there, so he's about to make the Glizzy perfect. And a chocolate chip cookie with lemonade. Nothing wrong with this plate.
Before Blaine says anything, I just want to say, you think that's beating TCU?
Huh?
You think that's
what? This is for think about the demographic. 18-year-old kids.
You know what they
18-year-old kids. That's what they want to eat.
Oh, really? I don't even think 7-year-old.
Why does that hot dog look like it was part of the black?
You're the Glizzy Gobbler, for God's sake.
What is that? What is that? I didn't know hot dog had mold.
It got grilled. That's a grill mark.
It got grilled?
You can't see the whole thing.
But he said, why does that hot dog look like it was part of the black pearl?
This is what 18-year-old kids want.
Why is Orlando Bloom's dad talking to me on that?
I just love when you go get the cookies from Walmart, too.
The mac and cheese looks good.
You know what they had at Bama?
That's right, just like Mama made
You know
it,
what they had at Bama?
Like, that's where I trying to win football games.
They had lobster wrapped in bacon at Auburn. They had fried alien.
Hold on, I just got word. Yep, this was fake news. This is from the Buckeyes. Bring up the real plate of food. There we go. That was the real plate of food right there.
This guy took pictures of Outback and put it on Twitter. I know Outback when I see it, Dave.
That is not Outback.
That is Outback
in
to
Schembeckler Hall in Ann Arbor.
3 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. You can go get that.
We got 4-game suspension for hamburgers. What do you expect? Yeah, we're going to eat chicken fingers.
You heard Luke, you're talking to kids in no contact COVID area.
That was real. What's going on in Ann Arbor? I can't even defend y'all anymore, man.
Listen, Michigan's, they're obviously doing something right. They're doing something right. But that hot dog, that didn't look right. I think that at 6%.
Next one up. If you thought it couldn't get worse than that, a man paid
hot dog looked like people about to start showing up and like Superman and Spider-Man. That's when you know you're done. That's when you know you're done.
If you thought those were bad.
When Thor walks through the Dr. Am I okay? Yeah, why are you dressed up as Thor?
Will you shut up already? A man paid $20,000 to become a border collie. I kid you not. Jake, this guy paid $20,000 to become a dog.
What is that?
First of all, how can you? I thought it cost way more than $20,000. You've been ripped off. I'll do it for half. I'll do it for half.
Okay. Is this a video? Oh my God! Look at it roll over. If you're on audio, you got to go to YouTube and look at this. Look.
Who's enabling this guy? Who is this woman enabling this guy to be a dog?
Oh my God.
Then it said shoot that.
Dude.
So like this is
that.
Look, what are we doing? He became a border collie for $20,000.
Oh my gosh. This is a deep-seated like issue of I love dogs. All right. I'm animal lover, right? Got 3 of them. Frenchie, Husky, other mix.
You're not going to defend this, are you?
No.
Okay.
No. But can you imagine a world 200 years from now where people are just running around dressed up as animals? Like, I don't know.
No.
Like it used to be before humans. We're reverting.
God's sending another flood as we speak.
That's exactly right. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. Just get ready.
See, like those are the people. Like the woman's just as much fault as that dude.
She's enabling.
Yeah, 100%. Like those are the people. We let this happen, right? Next thing you know, 6 months later, there's camera crews at their house. They have a dungeon that's full of bodies.
Yeah.
You know, like this. Like I'm not. And how can I tread around this safely? Like
Careful. This is the Special Olympics betting type careful.
no, that's Special Olympics. We should be able to bet Special Olympics. 100%. You bet on dogs.
We're
Bet
not
on horses,
betting a
but
Special
they're not good enough for you to bet on. Disgusting. People like this, just like some.
Easy.
It's just like I miss the old days.
Rein it in, big guy.
I miss the old days.
Just rein it in.
Like to a certain extent, like not every.
We just get made fun of, like
yeah, well, not everybody
mercilessly.
just needs to reproduce.
Okay.
Because stuff like that happens. Man dressed up as a border collie. That's why you bully kids. So that doesn't happen. If someone had bullied him, he'd probably be working, I don't know, for IBM or something. But no, he's dressed up as a dog and some lady's rubbing him in the park. We're sending Ukraine billions of dollars. They just announced aliens are real, but I'm watching border collie videos. Sorry. What is going on?
Okay.
All right, that's it. I'll save a couple for later.
Yeah, we'll save. Wow, that was a lot. I'm going to head over here. By the way, real quick, Sergio won the month, but.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Big tracker?
Yeah.
Hey, he just became a father, so good for him. That's good.
Yeah,
Fatherhood.
Yeah, good for him.
Oh my gosh, that was real. That was real anger.
Should we even count it, though? You know what I'm saying? Should we even count it?
Who came in second?
Me.
Then yeah, we should just count.
Me.
No.
You went 2 and 3 yesterday.
No, it's capping.
No, that actually really happened in
I'm
real
pretty
life.
sure I went 3 and 2.
No, you wouldn't. See, now you're just saying
No,
things. Next thing you know, you come in here dressed up as a border collie.
Just because he spent $20,000 on being a border collie.
All right, so it's a new month.
Congrats, Ben.
Nobody's upset about it. Congrats, Ben. You're a new father. Apparently, if your name's Ben, you're just a new father lately. Davies and them just had their baby. Shout out to Davies. So it's a new month, but here's the problem. We still can't bet football yet until like the 26th. So I'm still having to bet other stuff. And I don't like it, even though week 1 and week 2 are the hardest to bet in college football, but at least it's football.
Week 1, LSU, Florida State over. Do we know what that is?
No, you misspoke. South Carolina, North Carolina over.
Well,
LSU, Florida State not touching it, but I heard LSU's plus 7.5 somewhere.
Plus 7.5?
Here, let me just give you all the money I've ever
LSU
made.
plus 7.5?
I just heard that. I didn't see it.
We'll see.
Anyways, it's a new month, so let's just keep betting on the baseball. So, Zach Gallen, Alex Cobb, just get through the first. Please! Nerfy, minus 135. And then the Guardians and the Astros. Yay. Nerfy, minus 120. What do you got, David?
All right, let's start off hot. Let's slap that sign and believe a little bit. Braves, minus a run and a half. It's minus 115. Spencer Strider on the mound tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe
surprise you're out.
Maybe 10, 11, 12 Ks, something like that. And then Rangers and the Brewers both win plus 124. Let's start off hot, man.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Having a great time. Sweet. Give me Tampa Bay, minus 1.5, plus 145. Who cares? Not me. And give me the Braves, minus 1.5, minus 115, whatever. Sick of it.
Ace, who's got a birthday coming up.
Ace,
He does.
Yeah. He's going to go Marlins, Phillies, Nerfy, -130, and Spencer Strider with the win at -115. God, why did he change my bet?
That's a good
Bet
bet.
at -115?
It's a good bet. And they lost last
What
night.
did they know? What did they
I'm so
know?
upset. Like, I literally blame this entire month on Matt Olson. I do.
I
bet you'd hit a
blame
home run.
yourself.
I bet you hit a home run on
I mean, the Braves,
Saturday.
we can't.
No,
I
but
took
hey,
that bet,
I'm
too.
going to wake up the next day and I'm going to drop 2 tipsies, and then I'm going to send you a letter and laugh in your face.
Well, you should have had faith in him.
I did have faith in him. I was
On
Faith
Sunday.
Hill. What do you mean?
He was Faith Hill. He was. All right, we got 4 minutes. Let's go back to the Booster Club.
All right, I have to look in here. I haven't looked in a while. I'm gonna keep it stacked with everybody here. Reed says that you're definitely gonna blame her for the month that you lost in betting.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Thank you for my shirt, Reed.
Let's go to Heartbroken Hog, who wants to know: will the Pac-12 win a national title and be dissolved next offseason?
No and yes.
Let's go to Stephen Moore, the man who's always correct. Maybe Michigan should have their strength coach be the temporary head coach for the 4 games because he has serial killer eyes, which will strike fear in the opponent.
He does. Those eyes are dead.
I think Michigan in these 4 games will just realize that they don't even need a coach.
I mean,
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I remember hearing something similar about when we played Appalachian State.
That's
How'd that
just
work out?
Everything you go back to. I
you
don't
got
know
still. I mean, you got some serious and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You see, that's your connection with A&M,
Can't look past any game.
right?
Yeah.
That's your connection with A&M.
Yeah, but it'll never be talked about A&M. After
Like when
this
you
season,
go to
no
a
one will
restaurant-
ever bring up the fact that Texas A&M lost to Appalachian State. No one will ever remember it, ever.
When you
but
go to-
every year, you will talk about Michigan losing to Appalachian
No,
State.
you
It's a
just
Michigan
talk about
difference.
that.
Yeah, when you go to a
just talk
restaurant,
about
It's in the College Football Hall of Fame. They have a wall dedicated to that game.
David,
I had to look at it every
David,
day.
when you go in a restaurant and you open a menu and it says apps, do you like?
PTSD.
No, only when
Yeah.
I get green.
It's like when they
shirts
see. It's
that
like when
make
they
fun of
see
me.
the clown from It in the movie. Like they're just like he sees like apps, like a red balloon just starts floating through the restaurant.
Cal Kenny says the LSU is -2.5 against FSU. What are you talking about?
I just saw that yesterday. I don't know. It may have been on a different sports book.
That makes more sense.
A 9.5 point difference?
Huh?
That's gracious. I want to book you're on. Coke 19, is that a CFB countdown timer in the back?
Yes, it is.
Boom.
Is it right? We're gonna
Yes,
double
it's
check and
right.
make sure it's
Right.
right. Yes.
It is
That's correct.
All right. Yes. College, we need to take a picture with that after. Oh, also, got to give a shout out to Logan Stockman.
Logan Stockman.
Yes.
Yes.
That's pilot's license, right?
So he's just graduated from the Air Force. I want to make sure I get this 100% right. Logan Stockman, big fan of the show. Okay, I believe he got his wings from the Air Force.
Yeah.
Right, this Friday, right? We were going to do this on Friday. We're going to make sure we get this done. Logan, congratulations, man. Thanks for your service.
Congrats, Logan.
Your uncle's very, very proud of you. Everybody is. We're
yeah.
proud of you as well, my friend. Congratulations and thank you.
Well
Keep it up,
done,
bud.
man.
Keep it up, bud.
Well done.
Love that. Let's go to Peter Abraham's son.
Abraham's son?
Abraham's son. All right.
What,
He
like-
says, looks like the flood is already coming in that studio. What's up with all these high water pants, fellas?
Look, these are joggers. This is how they
Like,
make
dude,
them.
first
I don't
of
want to
all,
talk about it.
Look, we respect
Plus,
that.
I have a
My
Twitter
pants
account.
don't smoke, so
If I put my pants down, I don't have a Twitter account anymore. You know, Cone's High Water Pants. He's out here.
You see this? You're seeing foot nut right now, ankle bone. All right.
So Travis Elrod, he wants to know: do you think that man dressed as a dog poops in the street?
Well, you
Yeah,
know what?
emphasize the word poops.
Everybody else does now, and it's cool. So I guess
Yeah,
does he live in
fits right
California or not?
Fits right in.
I mean, do you have to treat him like a dog?
I heard they have an app now. They have an app in San Francisco where you can
Face back?
face back,
Oh, okay.
where you can report poop and feces. And I heard,
Poop report?
I heard it's not going well. I heard it's
They call that
overloaded.
TMZ. Oh, my bad. I thought it was CNN. All right, let's go to Zach Wilson. Hope everything's going well for you in the league, man. He says, homeless people in SF are laughing at this guy spending $20K to poop in public.
Well, I'm just wondering, like you really you want to be a dog that bad? Like you really want? So that's fine. So here's what happens. I didn't see a collar. Okay, that's a problem. You can't have
Yep.
just random dogs running
Nope.
around. Animal Services.
Yep.
Go get his ass. Throw him back in the truck. Throw him in there with the rest of the dogs. Let's see how bad he wants
Let's
to
really
win.
find out.
Let's really find out. You vaccinated? You got all your shots? You got rabies shots? I think it's time we updated that. The way I see it.
Now, there's an idea. There's an idea.
And guess what? Now you eat dog food
Oh,
out of
yeah.
a bowl, and I'll give you pepperonis. That's how we live now.
Hope someone adopts you.
It's getting weirder the more.
Can you imagine feeding that dog pepperoni?
I don't want to picture you giving him pepperonis.
They're pepperonis.
Pepperonis.
He wouldn't get the pepperonis. We eat those. All right, last one, then we get to poll.
A couple things here. Bradley Cogdill. Does anyone else get wigged out by Jackson Dart's eye black? What does he do with his eye black?
He does like one side. Like
He does like the Saruman before they go in the war? He hits it with the face, the hand on the face. You know what I'm talking about? Boom, hand on the face. That shit gets hard. I do it. Let's go to Sing Jing Singa 8290. Brought dishonor to your family. He says, tuned in late, but Jake, kindly take back your lawnmower from your wife. We'll keep that in the trust tree.
Look, she likes to do it. I do it mostly, but she did it. She's done it the last couple of times, and obviously she just said she went out of bounds. So I can put it. But let's go to the poll.
Let's go to VR. Do Transformers have car insurance, life insurance,
is that the poll?
or an STD? No, yeah, the first two.
Wait,
do Transformers have car insurance or life insurance?
Life insurance.
Oh.
Life insurance, because
I'm gonna
that's
say
them.
I'm going to say car insurance is life insurance. I'm going to say car insurance. Is this the poll?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to say car insurance 54%.
Life insurance, 54%.
Do Transformers have car insurance? 59%.
Yeah.
Life insurance.
That's wrong.
40.
Oh,
wrong.
the
You got
price
it
is
wrong.
wrong, David. Why don't you go eat one of those
Life
cold
insurance.
ass?
They are the car.
Yeah.
They're the
So
car.
Yeah. Then we get some mac and cheese and chicken tenders, and then maybe we can go watch Peter Pan.
Which is gas? Is that
Every-
just like,
No, I love.
That's what
listen,
I'm saying.
listen.
What, every meal.
But that's not what I
every
want. You know what I want? I want that for lunch at school. I don't want that for lunch on my official visit.
In Ann Arbor, you can live your dreams every time of day, every meal.
Yeah, that's
okay,
what I
and
heard.
you get that chocolate chip cookie.
That's why y'all's quarterback coach is a chick. Anyways, all
I don't think that's accurate anymore.
right, make sure you subscribe. Got a great show tomorrow. Tim Brando dropping his top 10. Top 10. His Timmy B's top 10. We're going to explain that. He's going to explain it. We're going to see what the Pac-12 does. You know,
Someone's gonna explain.
Yeah, when they get all their games on like, Paramount Plus or whatever the hell's going on. But we appreciate you guys. Make sure you share all the shows, subscribe.
You got
hit
this.
the like.
You got this, dude. Come on.
I tell you what, you're really in your bag today. You're going to be in a bag later. But we appreciate it and like the chances of that being a great official visit lunch. Sorry, David. We're going. Gone.